Not going to talk about the game a whole lot. I thought the adjustments the coaching staff made worked pretty well on defense. They gave themselves a chance to win, and then they ended up relying too much on Mariota to go win it, and that's just not something you can do. So instead of talking about the game, I kind of want to review the whole season, because to me, the injuries matter, but there's been a lot of discipline mistakes. We saw again last night, pre-snap penalties, post-snap penalties, drop passes, missed tackles after penetrating, disrupting the play, that are kind of more on the players to me than the coaching. Quarterback room is not one I can get really angry at. Jaden Daniels has not been as good as he was last year, but I think they asked him to do way too much last year. So you were going to ask him to do less. He's been injured. That's the most important thing right now is his health. The offensive line was not very good last year, and schematically they did a lot of things like chipping, moving the pocket, smartly using their running backs in ways that would add them in protection, but also give them ability to release on routes. They're not doing as much of that stuff this year because they're trying to trust it more in pass pro. And I think the unit has improved. It's not a world beater unit. They're not the best pass protecting unit. They've certainly had their struggles in run blocking the past few weeks, but I do think they are improved. The weapons have just been beat up, and this was supposed to be the strength outside of your quarterback, and I think they got some good contributions from Jacory Cross-Merritt in the running back room. I can't really say anything bad about them. Tight end room, Zach Ertz has looked beat up and slow. I really would like to see more Ben Sinnott. Had a nice catch on Monday. He blocks well. John Bates is playing well. I think that the next step with Sinnott being their developmental guy is something I'm very interested about with this roster. The receiver room, they got some young guys, McCaffrey and Lane, who've shown some things, but ultimately it's a Debo and Terry room. And even as they're out there now, they are not 100% healthy, and it's very much hurting their ability to win games. The front seven has been bad, and the depth was kind of the strength coming in. They've had a bunch of injuries at edge. It's hurt them. I think the interior defensive linemen have been solid. The edge players have been better at pass rushing as the year's gone on, but they can't set an edge, and the linebackers have suffered because of it. And it's made it hard to evaluate a secondary that I don't think is very good, but you've seen some nice things from Trey Amos and Mike Singer still the year before. Safety room lacking depth has been very bad. That is a concern for me. I think they need a safety. So where does that leave you as a team? I don't know. Like, this schedule is brutal. You're trying not to be a 3-7 team going into Miami. If you can be 4-6 and go 5-6 to that bye, maybe you can keep a semblance of the season going and stay like a 500 team. Ultimately, I know like a high draft pick is nice. I do think this team needs to push for 8 or 9 wins, because if they get to that level, they can say, hey, like, we had a lot of issues early this season, tough schedule, injuries. We fought back. We kept in the playoff chase. We didn't really make it. It is what it is. But if this team completely spirals and falls apart, you start to question, what's going on here? Is the locker room really all in? Like, if they win 4 or 5 games this year, that's a problem. I'm expecting like 5 or 6 at this point because I feel like things are getting worse. I am going to look at how this team finishes. It needs to not be a mess. If they start falling apart, lose a bunch of games in a row to finish this year, you're concerned.